Joining us now is Mr. Ajene Watson. He's the CEO of Digital Asset Monetary Network, stock symbol DATI. Ajene, welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me, Don.
We're also joined by Catherine Weisbeck. She's the president of Global Election Services, a company that provides comprehensive technology-enabled election services to organizations like labor unions, credit unions, colleges, universities, and trade associations. Catherine, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Jenny, I see by your last shareholder update, you've made significant progress since we last spoke with you. Tell us about this.
Yeah, I mean, we have made some really good progress. I mean, like the update says, we have some highlights such as we increased revenues 197% year over year. Our asset position has increased 246% since 2017, which is a 96% year over year. We've reduced net losses, which may not sound like a big deal, but it's a big deal to, continuously cut things off cut the fat. So we've reduced those by 58%. And we've done a good job building our ecosystem. As you know, we own 10% of an equity stake in we own an equity stake in a top 10 equity crowdfunding portal. We've recently acquired a majority interest in a company marketing agency that focuses on Reg CF marketing, and we've taken an equity stake in a private investment group. It's a global group that is high net worth private investors. So we're building the ecosystem to make sure that all of our clients and our portfolio companies continue to do well. If I may, Don, one thing I'm really happy about or proud of that we've accomplished is our subsidiary. Even during this time of COVID, we launched something called Keep the Lights On. It's a micro funding campaign, and it was meant to help financially support small and micro businesses during this time. So as a company that focuses on financial literacy, promoting economic empowerment and social empowerment growth, that was very important to us.
Well, your business model, Jenny, has always been very interesting. So is your choice of companies to work with. What is your process in choosing a business that you want to do some work with?
Well, aside from having a very detailed applicant process, we like businesses that can also have some sort of social impact in the long run, or some sort of meaningful impact, I should say, in the long run, even if it's subtle. GES, Global Election Services, we believe has that subtle long-term impact. So we look at companies like Global Election Services as an example.
Well, Catherine, if I'm not mistaken, Global Election Services is a subsidiary of Global Arena Holding, which is a publicly traded company trading under the symbol of GAHC, correct?
Yes, it is correct.
Well, tell us a little bit about GES.
Well, as you said, we provide comprehensive technology-enabled election services for a variety of organizations. But what's really interesting about the company actually for providing these services is the history of the company. Our management team has been running elections for nearly 40 years. So it was a family-owned business that we acquired the assets of, and that history and that understanding of how to run elections provides a great information for how we serve our current clients. And many of the clients that we have now are from that 40-year-old business.
Well, I guess congratulations are in order because you successfully conducted the North Dakota Democratic NPL presidential primary election. Tell us about that.
We did. So a lot of our elections are hybrid, what we call hybrid elections, where voters, it's your right to, of course, cast your vote. And sometimes, people can come in person, but they can't necessarily always do that. So for the North Dakota, the voters had the option of calling in ahead of time and asking for mail ballot. So there was an in-person date and also mail ballot component. So we had two pieces that we then assimilated to conduct this election.
Are you planning to push into government elections?
Yes, we are. Currently, we are doing a certification process that will allow us to conduct government elections, apply for contracts with each of the different districts within the United States.
Well, you mentioned voting by mail. Now, I know that's been a very controversial topic in the news lately. Do you see voting by mail as the future of the American election process?
Voting by mail is something that allows people to vote from the convenience of their home. But, you know, I think it'll always be a component as an option, in person, of course, and then, you know, eventually technology.
Well, you mentioned technology. Does GES have any technologies that would prevent cyber attacks or outside interference or mainly voter fraud?
Of course, yes. You know, we take great pride in protecting the voter identity, making sure that each voter is anonymous in their votes and that everything is secure. We have made some investments into blockchain technology, so we're working towards a blockchain solution and an online voting solution as well.
Well, this is obviously a very big election year. What's next for GES?
Well, we're working towards our certification for the government elections, and we're going to continue to serve our clients as best we can with secure voting.
Ajene, back to you. How does GES fit into the bigger picture of digital asset monetary network?
Oh, well, after we finalize our working relationship, it will become a client and a portfolio company of Digital Asset Monetary Network. From there, it's business as usual. You know, we'll focus on helping Catherine and the GES team further develop their business and deploy it wherever they see they need our assistance. And while both of our companies are, I guess, you know, because we're service providers, are apolitical, like we have to just stay, walk the line. You know, the relationship has inspired us to launch our Vote by Mail initiative. Again, when we work with companies, we look to have some sort of impact along the lines of social, economic, financial literacy, some sort of impact. And voting by mail, like you said, Don, is a topical issue, right? It's controversial, it's topical, but it's important. You know, it can help, prevent voter suppression or limit voter suppression and cyber attacks and outside interference, all of those things. So it's important that people understand the vote by mail process, the opportunity it presents, and that is, you know, hopefully we can continue to work with GES in us providing that education through our Vote by Mail initiative.
Two very exciting companies, Global Election Services and, of course, Digital Asset Monetary Network, stock symbol DATI. Catherine, Ajene, great interview. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you as well.